Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Minions of the Zoo. I'm your host, Johnny Hellcat, and with me today is Minion Sanguine.
Good evening, all. How you all doing?
Yeah. Things are looking
So
good.
how you doing, Johnny? Everything going well? Things are looking good on your end? That's good to hear.
So far, so good, yeah. I did have my endoscopy on Tuesday. I talked a bit about it. They have yet to find anything. That's about all I've been told so far.
They should have at least found your end in the endoscopy. If they didn't even find that, I'm now questioning your anatomy.
Well, they one of the PAs decided that it was in his best interest to squeak a fart by my face just before the anesthesia hit.
Nice.
So, and I was like, it was just as I was starting to hit, and I'm like, and it's really funny because anesthesia is as something that you can't experience. You have to experience it to know what it sounds like. Like,
Yep.
it's just like when it starts to hit, you'll always hear that like that Hollywood like, doo.
Yeah, there's that you're powering down now type feeling to it.
Yeah, and it's like everything starts to slow down, and you can hear it, but
The
you
best-
can't really describe it.
The best way I can try to describe it is to explain the very first time that I was gassed to be put out for a surgery and my experience with that. Because you know how they put the mask on your face, they start giving you the gas, and then it's the, okay, count back from 100. So you start off and it's 100, 99, 98. The way that it went for me was 100, 99, 98. What comes after 9?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. That's the best way I can describe it. Complete with the suddenly going slow motion.
And it's funny because the last thing I remember is my ears vibrating. Like, just because I was trying to, it's like you know what, they tell me this is what's going to happen, I'm going to fight it.
Yep.
And I'm going to see how long it takes for that stuff to take effect. And you can't. Like it is, it's medical grade. I mean, it is what it is, but yeah.
The gas is the only thing that actually has that. If it's gaseous, it can actually take me down. If it's intravenous, my body just goes, whatever, fuck it, ignore that shit, and continues on. But if it's a gas, it just right quick.
And it's a different medication because I remember with my ACL reconstruction, I remember it was the same kind of intravenous hookup. IV in my hand. They had me on the oxygen. They stuck a tube down my throat. And so I remember they're like, okay, so when we inject the anesthesia in you, your hand is going to hurt because the medication's, in your bloodstream. And so that's going to, it's not really it'll feel like it hurts, but it's more like the pain nerves are shutting down and they don't want to. And so you're going to feel coolness going down your hand, and then as soon as it reaches your elbow, or before it reaches your elbow, you'll be unconscious. And of course, my thought is like, okay, that's what they're telling me. I'm gonna fight this. And the heart monitor that they had me on started just beeping, and he's like, "Dude, you're only gonna make it worse." Like, and so they hit me with the stuff, and I go, "Okay, there's my hand. There's my wrist. There's my elbow. I can't feel my arm." Mm-hmm. And he's like, "What do you mean you can't feel your arm?" And I'm like, "I can't feel."
Like, nice. Yeah, like I said, for me, the only thing that really seems to have the proper effect on me is the gas. They've tried giving me the intravenous knockout meds, and they'll go like, okay, so this is when you should pass out, and I'll just be continuing to talk with them through the point where I should have passed out like 5 minutes ago. And they'll try another thing, and they'll remain talking the entire time with that. And then it's, okay, we're just going to gas you. And then, like I said, it's that 199.98 and out. There is nothing else that hits me that hard other than the gas.
I remember scaring my dentist when I got my my wisdom teeth pulled. Because my only reaction to wisdom teeth is, and the one that stuck with me, I should say, is my eldest sister, who had to be put out because her nerves, the nerve endings were like wrapped around her jaw. And so she had to get put under. And she is allergic to anesthesia.
Fun.
And so they had to find all of this other alternative anesthetics to do this surgery on her. And she came out and she was just sobbing. And because she was in such pain. Well, she cried so much that they actually had to put an IV in her.
Okay.
And then she got out, and I'm like, fuck that, I'm keeping my wisdom teeth. Fuck that shit. And then when it came time for me to get mine taken care of, I went in thinking, This is going to be a nightmare. This is going to suck. I am going to die.
Yep.
And so, and the main difference between my sister's and mine is mine were ready to come out. Like, the only thing that the doctor did was cut back my back gums. And he gasses me, which gives me the laughing gas. And I'm like, okay, this feels pretty good. And so he goes, okay, that's one tooth. And I'm like, that's it? And he goes, well, we're partway done. And I'm like, oh, I was so freaked out about this. And I started laughing. And my laughter turned into maniacal laughter.
Yep.
And he's just like, I think I need more gas.
That's part of the reason why laughing gas isn't as much of a go-to anymore as it once was. Because there's a certain percent of the population that has this interesting side effect from laughing gas. And it was actually a problem that the person that developed laughing gas found out that he had when he went crazy and then threw acid on a woman.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's a dosing, and a certain percent of the population that at that level of dose, they start to have a mild psychotic break almost. So you have the option of power through that dose up to the higher dose, or have to deal with restraining this person that's going through the crazy point.
Well,
or give them something else to knock them out through the crazy point.
And I think what it was for me mostly is that I was so panicked by my sister's experience from like 20 years ago that I was like, oh, I guess this isn't so bad after all. Like, and how you can kind of just chuckle something off. Well, I think I was so relieved, and mixed that with the laughing gas, it kind of just made it a lot more maniacal than it should have.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like, yeah, I'm going to get this done, and you're going to get out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me, like I said, I've told this story before, but just to reiterate, because we're talking about our times of getting knocked out. The very first time that I had to get any sort of surgery done was an oral surgery. And they gave me a med that was supposed to knock out a child of my size at the time at like 2 cc's. It was supposed to knock out effectively adults by 5 cc's. 7 cc's in, and I'm just fucking with the doctor, and he's going, I can't give this boy more. I might kill him if I do. We're just going to have to do this surgery with the drugged out of his mind boy.
Yeah.
So I was hooked up to the heart rate monitor and all the standard shit in order to make sure that I would stay alive, and they knew that they had given me a higher dose than they anticipated, and a higher dose than a good chunk of adults go under with this dose. So they were really keeping track of that. As I'm under the knife dealing with the surgery, I realize if I flutter my hand, I can get the heart rate monitor to start making funny noises. So I flutter my hand, they freak out, they finally realize I'm just fluttering my hand. They try to tell me to stop, I stop for a couple seconds. Literally, as they're about to go back to work, I start fluttering my hand again. They realize he's too high, we can't fucking trust him. They call in another nurse to hold my hand open. They continue with the surgery. And then I realize if I flutter my other hand, I can get it to do the same thing. They freak out again, figure out that I'm fluttering my other hand. Another nurse has to come in, hold open that hand. Surgery continues. If I flutter my leg, I can get it. Nurse comes in to hold down my leg. If I flutter, nurse comes in to hold down my leg. I have a nurse on every limb preventing me from fucking with the heart rate monitor by the time that they're actually able to finish the surgery on my mouth. Because I was just an asshole. At least when I was high. So I was fucking with the doctor. And that's when I and my family first found out medicine doesn't really quite work right on me.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw your Dom contribution there, Vince. How's it going?
What was his contribution? I'm currently sauteing up some mushrooms.
Lori Lightfoot meets Beetlejuice.
Ah. That looks like it would just be a darker Beetlejuice or a lighter Lori Lightfoot. I'm not sure which one.
Let me see if I can bring this up here. I'll share it through the stream, through the OBS instead of. Oh, that's a meme I made, so let's go with that one. Studio mode.
Nice.
It's AOC and Bobert wearing opposite but the same dress.
Yep.
I was gonna make a joke. It says they say there's a lookalike for everyone. Let's see if I can pull this up here.
It'd be really nice to, at some point, you know, not elect absolute gormless fucks. But it seems like that is the bulk of the people that apply for the job.
There are people like, oh, she's so intelligent. It's like, no. Neither of them. Like, there we go. And then I will share.
Yeah, like I said, it just becomes a darker Beetlejuice or a paler Lori Lightfoot. I'm not able to tell which one has the more unhealthy green tinge to their skin, though.
Especially around this picture.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's one of those things that I don't get how anyone can think that either of those two are particularly adroit.
That top right one is a good one.
One of them I agree with more, but neither are intelligent. Same thing can be said about Beetlejuice and Lori Lightfoot.
Yeah.
And, of course, the one that I agree with more is Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I'll bring that one back. Just this is what I made.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is too fucking similar. I'm hoping that with Bobert, though, the reason why she did the very similar dress was intentional, and it was, I'm going to take the piss out of her, and it wasn't just complete fucking irony.
Yes, I agree. With both Vince and Assassin. And yeah, I mean, it was pretty obvious that it was intentional.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Lauren Bobert has her own business and has to make payroll. Yeah, like I said, more intelligent, but still not exactly intelligent. And I agree with one more. Neither one I would say is brilliant.
Yeah, I think it's what happens when you start to turn politicians into celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of... I don't know. I just don't think that should be a thing.
Yeah, politicians shouldn't be turned into celebrities. And actors and actresses should still be seen as about on par with prostitutes. Because actors and actresses are given way too much credit and sway in shit when Their entire skill set is they're able to say words that other people root for them to say and make you feel certain things. That's not really high praise, in my opinion. And yeah, it is most likely intentional assassin, but with the number of times that I've seen shit like that where it isn't intentional, I have to make the caveat of, God, I hope it was intentional.
Yeah, the internet being what it is.
Yeah. The number of times that you see people that are, according to themselves, diametrically opposed to each other, doing the exact same shit, not realizing that they're doing the exact same shit, even to the point of wearing the exact same shit, makes it so that whenever someone is doing it intentionally, you have to, in the back of your mind, at least slightly be going, God, I hope it is intentional. But, yeah. Any interesting stories that you have for the day, Johnny? Or?
I haven't seen anything that hasn't already been talked about as far as animals attacks and the like.
Mm-hmm.
There are a couple things that I did want to. You did mention that what's his face, Ezra Miller.
Yes, Ezra Miller grooming and then kidnapping the teen girl, starting from when she was age 12, and now she's age 18, and people are trying to act like, see, he's not a pedophile. He's not a groomer because he waited until she was 18 to kidnap her. He started when she was 12. What the fuck do you mean he didn't groom? He started when she was 12. Also, just the absolute insanity about the entire thing, and the one thing that kind of made me chuckle, which is the girl's surname is the same as the character that is famously Italian, Iron Eyes Cody.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has the same surname of Iron Eyes.
Oh, man.
It looks more like Ricky Berwick was crossed with a pug. But yeah, with that story, it's Ezra Miller ended up meeting this young girl at a protest, then started to groom her when she was 14, I think it goes. He invited her to one of the special events for Fantastic Beasts, and then plied her with alcohol, several different types of drugs, and tried to sleep with her in the same bed. Which, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Then you were saying?
I said, yeah, that's fucked.
Yeah. And as time went on, he continued to do weird shit like that, and now that she's 18, he's kidnapped her, and they've disappeared as far as a lot of people can tell. Also, there's a lot of people saying that, oh, this has nothing to do with his political ideology, because one of the things that was pointed out was, oh, it's another far left freak that is found to be grooming children, not just sexually, but also politically, or not just politically, but also sexually, depending on which way you want to go with that. And they're trying to make it out like, oh, this has nothing to do with his political ideology and his identity politics. Meanwhile, he was picked up and had to deal with this for a while at one point earlier. And he accused the police officers of federal hate crimes for calling him sir. Accused them of federal hate crimes for not finding a transgender non-binary to pat him down rather than a male officer. And a score of other things. He did this at a bunch of various political events with this girl. He was indoctrinating her into his particular brand of what the fuck are you even on? To include things like she believes that the KKK has a high-tech surveillance group that is coming after her and Ezra. There's all kinds of just, what the fuck is this even about? Yeah, like I said, they believe that the KKK, a group mainly known for currently being geriatrics, and not exactly tech-savvy at that, have a high-tech surveillance group that is tracking them down, and they're on some sort of KKK hit list. Again, the KKK, which almost fucking disappeared until people started trying to resurrect it again. And I say resurrect it again because for those who aren't aware, the KKK is currently on either the second or third iteration.
Feds, a lot of them.
Oh, there are a fuck ton of feds that infiltrated it.
That Matt Christensen video about the Whitmer kidnapping.
Oh, where 13 out of 17?
Yeah.
Were feds?
Yeah, that is nuts. Have a good night, Vince.
Yeah. And that's something that we keep on seeing, that with a lot of very strange regularity, certain groups, when it comes out that they're being tried for various crimes, not just a sizable minority, but a majority of these groups keep on popping up as, oh yeah, there were 17 people involved in this plot, 13 of them were feds. So there were 13 feds that made this plot, and they dragged 4 schmucks along. That's what that means when you hear those numbers. When you hear that the vast majority of a group are feds, it's the feds. And then a handful of Joe Schmoes that they were able to bully and belittle into it. Like, have you heard the full thing about the attempted kidnapping?
Not the full thing.
So, it was the feds got into, I believe it was a bowling league or a drinking club, something along those lines, to start it off.
I pretty much heard what was in Matt's video, so I'm not sure if that's the whole kit and caboodle, but...
So, they got into that, they started talking to these people, and they started trying to goad them into taking some sort of action, to which the, 4 normal people were going, how about we just keep on bowling and drinking? We have a good thing going. We bowl, we drink, we talk shit, we bitch and moan. Let's just fucking continue that. And the feds, again, 13 out of the 17 were feds, kept on pushing them and pushing them and pushing them. The entire plan originated with the feds. The equipment was all procured by the feds. Everything was done by the feds, except when it was... So, yeah, you four are going to be the ones to actually grab her. And the entire time, the guys are going like, can we just go back to fucking bowling and drinking? What the fuck? But they're acting like, oh no, this was something that was completely organic. Bullshit. When the feds are the only ones coming up with the plans, and when they're the only ones getting the equipment, and when they're the only ones doing fucking every part of it, it is not an organic thing. It is not anything other than, oh, the feds are trying to kidnap someone, or trying to make it look like someone is going to be kidnapped, which is part of the reason why you heard about, what was it, what's the right-wing group that they said that they stopped a bunch of them heading to a protest just recently?
Was that Patriot
Was
Front?
it Patriot Prayer or Patriot Front? It was something like that. It was Patriot something. And interestingly enough, they didn't unmask any of them during the arrests.
Yeah. Patriot Front. That's right.
Patriot Front. Okay. Yeah, they didn't unmask any of them during the arrests, which is strange because pretty much every other time they unmask everyone except for the FBI during the arrests. And a bunch of other things were just kind of like, huh, this is interesting. And there was a group that pretty much everyone was going, yeah, this group glows in the dark.
Hey, Jack.
It's just absolute insanity that this shit keeps on happening, that people keep on trying to act like, yeah, we absolutely need to believe the FBI when they say something.
Yeah, and they wonder why we don't follow that shit anymore.
Yeah. It's like with why are people so unwilling to trust that these hate crimes have happened? Well, maybe it's because every major hate crime that you've pointed to out of the past 12 been fake. Maybe that's the reason why people don't trust that this is a hate crime. Why don't people believe that rape is as common as we say it is? Maybe it's because every major rape case, with the exception of Cosby recently, has turned out, oh, it was prostitution, or, oh, it was just entirely fucking made up, like the lacrosse and the UVA, and insert a score of others here. And when people start noticing that you're constantly lying to them, they're less likely to believe that you aren't lying to them.
Yeah. I don't know. It's and I don't even follow it that close because the stories change so much that I'm just like I don't fucking care anymore. Mm-hmm. Like with Cosby, to hear that it sounded like he was railroaded is a whole different ball of wax either.
See, the thing with Cosby is that, yeah, he was kind of slammed away as quickly as they could, but at the same time, Cosby actually fucking committed crimes. He admitted to drugging people, and then doing things to their unconscious bodies, shall we say. Whereas there's one person that I can think of off the top of my head. And then one person that I know of, and a couple that potentially, because it was kind of, okay, what age were they when this shit happened? But when it comes to Weinstein, there's the one, I want to say, Italian model slash actress.
The Argento?
No, not her. It was one that actually didn't end up with a career in cinema, at least in Hollywood. Because what happened was she was given the offer of sleep with me and you get the part, and she said no. He tried to force the matter. She ran out of there, went to the police, told the police what happened, and the police went, okay, well, we'll need evidence. She went, okay, put a fucking wire on me. And she was able to, without goading Weinstein, without going like, hey, fuck me for this part, or anything like that, she was able to just go back, start talking to him, and he again tried to assault her. It was all recorded. She was able to get out without a successful assault going on and provide that evidence to the police, and it just fucking vanished because it was in California that this shit happened. She was an actual victim. The other people that were victims of that weren't the actresses that were told, hey, if you fuck me, then you get a part. The people that were the victims were the ones that didn't get a part because they didn't get the offer to fuck him, or they didn't take the offer to fuck him, and would have gotten the part, except this one actress decided to spread her legs. Those are the victims of that. And then there's a couple where, like I said, I can't remember which ones, but there's a handful that I've heard were potentially underage when it happened. And, of course, they were victims. The fully grown actresses that decided, yeah, I'll fuck him for a part, they're prostitutes. They aren't rape victims. Because they were offered compensation ahead of when it happened, so it wasn't like, oh yeah, he raped them and then threw a 20 on the nightstand, and because he threw a 20 on the nightstand, that's not rape. No, it was, if you fuck me, you get this part. They went, I really want this part. They fucked him. And then years later decided, well, I feel bad that I fucked him in order to get this part, after they have an established career that can't be taken away from them. They aren't victims. They're prostitutes that then don't like the fact that they decided to be prostitutes. At least that's my take on it. You can absolutely disagree with me if you want, but
no, it's yeah. I mean, it's seemingly par for the course.
yeah. Like I said, if it's one of the people that they were underage, absolutely, they're a victim, because it doesn't matter, even if they said, yeah, they'll fuck him for the part, they were underage, he's a statutory rapist at that point. But there's a handful that just really pissed me off, and I'm trying to remember which actress it is that slept with him. Her father was a well-known actor. Her mother was a well-known actor, or actress, rather. She had roles before this, so it wasn't like her first role. But she fucked him in order to get a part, and then came out when everyone else was coming out and said, he raped me. You fucked him for a part. That's prostitution. That's not rape. I feel like I'm nattering on about this a bit too much, though.
Well, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, she very much could have just gotten it on her own.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm trying to remember which one it was that was. Because it was a well-known actress already at the time. Like I said, her father and mother were both in Hollywood and well-known at the time. So there was absolutely no fucking reason other than just she wanted the part. Because when you're that connected, it's not like, oh, he's going to be able to blackball me from the industry. Ow. You already have credits to your name. Your parents have credits to their name. How is he going to blackball you? And yeah, to respond to something that Jack said in the chat, I absolutely agree. There's shit that was going on in Hollywood that needed to be brought forward. There's shit that was actually really fucked up going on. Unfortunately, a good chunk of that didn't actually have anything happen to it. The person that I'm still absolutely fucking baffled by is Takei. Because you know about the thing with Takei, right?
I guess which part? The always bringing up the internment camps, or are we talking about where he...
Talking about his admitted molestation
of
males.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard about that.
Especially younger males. That he said he did live on air. And then when people went, yeah, he did it to me, said, oh, no, I've never done it. And everyone just went, well, he's old, gay, and Asian. Hasn't he had a hard enough life?
But the internment camps, people. The internment camps.
Yeah. Fuck that. He admitted that he had done it live on air years before Me Too became a thing. And everyone just acts like, yeah, it never happened. You can still listen to the audio of him admitting that he did it. And do you remember when he admitted he did it, or why he ended up admitting that he did it?
I know it was fairly recent, wasn't it?
It was back during the 2016 run.
Huh.
For presidency.
I thought it was
because
later than
that. It was at the time of the when you're rich enough, they'll let you grab them by the pussy remark.
Uh-huh.
This was Takai on Howard Stern, and they were talking about that remark and how disgusting it was, how it was clearly sexual assault, which, no, the key word in that entire thing, you can say that it's fucked up, you can say that it's terrible, it could be, but it is not illegal when someone lets you do something sexual to them.
Yeah. They let you do it.
Yeah, they let you do it. It is a consensual act. That is not any sort of sexual crime to do a sexual act with a willing partner. But while they were talking about how fucked and how horrendous that was, and how can people vote for a man who said that he would grope and sleep with willing women? I mean, the gall of a man saying that he would sleep and grope with willing women. Just absolutely disgusting, right? And then, as a way of kind of putting emphasis on this, Howard Stern was saying that he's certainly never said or done anything like that. And George, you're here. You're a gay man, so you weren't doing it to women, but would you ever do this to a guy? Why is there a pause?
What?
Have you done this to guys? Well, you see...
This goes with the Mike Birbiglia thing. What I should have said was nothing.
Yep. And then he goes into this explanation of, well, sometimes you see there's guys that might be interested in having gay sex, but they're a bit shy and they weren't sure and they weren't forthright that they wanted to have sex. So what George would do is George would encourage them. And it came down to he would grab them by the penis. That somehow just gets completely brushed under the rug, especially when he said that he would do this with people that weren't consenting. Because he didn't say that, well, yeah, grab a guy that we're about to get frisky. I'll grab his penis. No, it wasn't that. It was, there are people that are shy and they don't know that they want it, so I'll convince them. So it wasn't even he would grab them by the penis because they would let him do anything. It was he's going to do anything, so he grabbed him by the penis. Entirely fucking different thing. His was actually fucked up. They'll let you grab him by the pussy. Nothing goddamn wrong with it. You can say that it was a boorish thing to say, and yeah, it probably was. You can say that, well, he should have been more loyal to his wife. Yeah, he should have. Neither of those are criminal. Neither of those should be criminal. Grabbing someone by the penis and then telling them that they're going to have sex with you when they weren't keen on it, that's a damn sight more criminal. And then when people started coming out during Me Too and saying that, yeah, George Takei did all this shit, people were going, no, he never did that. And I'm going, listen to the fucking recording of him saying he did this shit. And yet, who would have ever thought that Howard Stern would never say or do anything offensive? I mean, it's not like for years his show was known for having on strippers and porn stars and various other sex workers, and that there was a fairly long run of him grabbing various body parts because they allowed him. But no. That he would never do anything like that.
Yeah, no, that... Yeah, Terry, George's victims were male, so that don't count.
That was functionally what it came down to.
Yeah.
Because that's the same reason why Asia Argento got away with her shit. because she was the one that was grooming a teen boy.
Yeah. It's, it's some bullshit.
Yeah, it's absolute horseshit. And it's one of those things that it seems like anytime a movement like that starts up, people should really, before doing anything else, look at the people that are starting the movement and go, okay, are you guys actually doing this shit? Are you trying to cast? Yeah, Terry Crews's story was ridiculed by Me Too as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was even a dude that assaulted him.
Yep. Yeah. It was made very clear very early on that this was a movement for a certain type of woman and a certain type of woman only.
Oh, I do have an animal attack.
Oh. What animal attacked what sort of person?
It was a tiger to a zookeeper. Let's see here. Horrifying video captured at the moment. Why was someone videotaping this?
Well, if you were there and you had a camera rolling already, wouldn't you continue rolling?
Let's see. Horrifying video captured at the moment. A zookeeper in Mexico was mauled by a tiger during feeding time before being rushed to the hospital where he reportedly died of a heart attack. Jose de Jesus, 23, screamed in agony as the tiger bit his hand after he tried to pet the big cat in the zoo in Paraban, western Mexico. Graphic footage published by the Mirror Wednesday shows that was a comma, not a period. Okay. De Jesus was rushed to the hospital where he refused to allow doctors to amputate his badly mangled hand. Okay. Before dying of a heart attack, according to the outlet. The animal's owner reportedly released gruesome footage to show that the worker was at fault for the attack.
Okay. That's another reason to record and release that footage.
Yeah.
CYA.
The owner said that he had paid the victim's medical bills, the Mirror reported. I would hope so.
No, if his claim is truly that he's not liable for it, why did he pay the bills?
He died of COVID. Yeah. Oh, that guy got a big chunk taken out of his hand.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you see the whole hand going in.
When it gets bit by a big cat, you probably aren't keeping much of your hand.
It looks like and I'm not watching the video because fuck that shit. It looks like the tiger bit his hand and he pulled that shit out.
Oh, so he ripped off his own hand effectively?
Pretty much.
Fantastic.
Oh my god. That is... Ugh.
Yeah, it's one of those things. You don't fuck with carnivorous animals of a certain size.
That was 13 days ago. That was 2 years ago, so that's not...
Just looking for animal attacks now?
Yeah, looking to see if there's anything recent. Hey, Six.
Okay, 6. What have you been up to?
Bison Course Woman. We've already read that. We already read that one.
Are we sure that we've already read that one, or is it just something that keeps on fucking happening?
A little bit of both, because I did read it a couple of weeks ago, I think. It was from June 1st, and so yeah, I think I'd already read that one.
Okay, yeah, I think that was the last time that you did your Animal Attack update. You included that one. But again, it's one of those things that you kind of have to do a double take of, did you actually already read this one? Or is it just every fucking couple of months there's a woman that tries to go and pet a bison or buffalo or... Oh, look at the cute little bear cub.
Yeah, I'm going to make sure this thing is warm and put it in my car. It's not as if its mother will just disown it, causing it to die anyway.
Or, as often happens as well, it's not like its mother's anywhere near, oh my god, my face! Why is this bear mauling my face? All I was doing was picking up its bear cub. Because people are fucking stupid.
Let's see.
Oh, and while you're looking up that, we should mention that we've already started the process, but it's going to be continuing. A lot of the old, or pretty much all the old Minions of the Zoo streams are being downloaded and pulled down from our YouTube channel because we got that 5-year-old gaming stream strike, and we're deciding that better safe than sorry. We are going to be looking into if and where we'll be re-uploading old streams, but for the time being, you'll see a lot of the old streams start disappearing. Our milestone streams, like the 500, the 1,000, the 2, 3, so on year anniversaries, those will still stick around, but the various other streams in between will be pulled down and probably put back up at some point later on some other service or on another channel. We're doing this just to avoid the capricious YouTube overlords. So, thank you for understanding.
Yes.
And this shit is absolute horseshit that we're having to do it.
Yep, and there's Monkey.
Just went live?
Yep. Posted 29 seconds ago.
Fair enough. This needs to go in the pack.
And just thinking about it, for all the inequality that people are complaining about, and the average Joe who says, I don't do anything, too bad. I'm a good guy. I like to think so. I treat people fair. I do what I can to get by. And I respect other people that do. And then you have this twat looking at Nancy Pelosi and her getting her husband off from a DUI charge.
Mm-hmm.
And then people wonder, it's easy to point at the white person and be like, oh yeah, that's a white person thing, when it's really a power thing.
Yeah.
It's a money and power thing, not a race thing, and it's insane.
Yeah, and it's retarded trying to say, oh, that's a white person thing, when no, we have examples of black politicians doing similar shit. We have examples of black actors and actresses being able to do similar shit. We have examples of just wealthy people of any stripe being able to do the same shit. It's not a racial thing. It is a, do you have power? Do you have name recognition? If you do, then yeah, you'll be able to get away with shit. Because, unfortunately, what was once far more a system of, this is the law, you break the law, fuck you, has been getting progressively more corrupted to become a, you broke the law. Do you know anyone important? Are you related to anyone important? Those aren't your Secret Service detail, are they? Okay, nope. Off to prison with you. But if yes to any of those, we'll make this disappear.
Yeah.
And we keep seeing it, and it'll be something that we keep seeing until we make it absolutely clear that if you do that, it will be the death of your career.
Well, is what's her name? We were just talking about her earlier. From Michigan.
Oh, Whitmer?
Whitmer. You know, with her with the whole
the boatyard?
The boatyard thing, yeah. That, I mean, how she was even able to keep her job after that shit was it's just maddening.
Yeah, the boatyard incident with Whitmer, the French Laundry with Newsom, the hairdresser with Nancy Pelosi.
Well, and even I was watching the. Have you ever seen Andrew Schultz Saves the World?
I don't believe I have.
It's on Netflix. I watched his show, and he was stating that Newsom shut down all these wineries, with an exception of one, which was his.
Yep. Yeah, it keeps on happening where the businesses that they have money in, that they have some sort of stake in, or that they directly own, are always shielded from the shit that they advocate for. It should be no surprise to anyone that the exact point that Biden said there'll be no new taxes for anyone that makes more than $400,000 a year, or sorry, for anyone that makes less than $400,000 a year, there'll be no new taxes. Care to guess what the presidential salary is?
Isn't it like, was it 60,000 lifelong?
I'm saying while in office. There's a specific salary that the president gets while in office. And again, Joe Biden said that in his administration, there would be no new taxes on anyone making less or anyone making $400,000 a year or less. What do you think the presidential income is?
Oh, 400,000.
Exactly. The reason why that cutoff was there was You didn't want to pay more. And you just keep on seeing this shit. I mean, they want gun control. Meanwhile, turns out Hunter Biden lies on paperwork in order to be able to get a gun. It's able to get passed over because the government allows it to get passed over. Then another person realizes you weren't supposed to have this gun, tells him to get rid of it. So what does he do? He throws it in a garbage can at a school. Also, really fucking illegal.
Yeah.
What happens from that point? Oh, don't worry about it. Secret Service took care of it. The fuck? That means that they covered for him. They're supposed to make sure that he doesn't end up dead. They aren't supposed to make sure that he gets away with his crimes. The point of the Secret Service is to protect the person that they're with, not cover for the person that they're with.
Sister-in-law grabbed it and threw it in the dumpster, committing a felony herself. Well, it's a family of criminals.
Yep. And it just keeps on fucking happening. That you'll have shit like that pop up. That you'll have more stories come out where people in certain positions, or related to people in certain positions, will commit a crime. And, oh yeah, don't pay attention to that.
Oh, so he's a HIV giver, huh?
It does not concern you. And, let's see, yeah, there's he might have given his sister-in-law HIV. That also came out. And it came out in the most fucked up manner possible. Because when it came out, it wasn't that he said that she needs to get tested or that there's a problem. When it came out because his demand that she get tested like she was the one who gave him it, rather than the known intravenous drug user and fucking sex pest who has paid for prostitution, paid for all kinds of other shit, and decided to fuck his brother's wife.
The honorable
Nah,
Bo.
he couldn't be the one who had first contracted it and might have passed it to her. No. This whore needs to get tested to see if she might have given it to him. Fucked up shit just keeps on coming out, and every new thing is worse than the last.
How much worse is it?
Well, you remember the journal
Yeah.
story, right?
Yeah, the journal and the wasn't there 2 laptops or is there only one?
There's 3.
I knew there were multiple.
3 laptops. There's one laptop that is in possession of the federal government. There's one laptop that was the one left at the computer shop. And there's one laptop that may or may not be in the possession of the Russian mafia. Don't pay attention to that one, though. Don't worry about anything there.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's 3 laptops, at least 3 laptops. One of them was collected ages ago during a sting somewhere else, and the federal government It supposedly has it. One of them he left at the computer shop, and one of them might have been taken by the Russian mafia due to unpaid debts. But
Our president,
there's
ladies and
nothing to worry
gentlemen.
about there.
Nothing to see there.
Yeah, how much worse his brother was not dead a month when Crackhead hooked up with the sister-in-law. Yeah. It was absolutely fucked. Yeah,
Like
it
that,
was.
that's just against the rules altogether.
Well, considering that in the journal, there's stories about Biden showering with his daughter well past the age that that would be excusable.
Yeah.
You can't really be all that surprised. And if Bo was as virtuous and good as it seems, man, he got out at the right time, apparently. Fucked way of going, but the rest of the families, good goddamn, what the fuck's wrong with them?
I need to find a palate cleanser. Like,
yeah, we've talked about the grooming of a young girl until she hit the age of 18, and then the kidnapping. We talked about all the fucked up shit that the Bidens have been doing. We definitely need a palate cleanser. We need something happy. Cast away all the doom and gloom.
all right. And I'm actually getting pretty tired myself, so I'm just going to we're gonna end
End
it
off on this.
because I have got to get some rest.
Copy that. Fair enough.
So
what's our little ray of sunshine before we go?
Well, hopefully it's let me see if it's an actual. Okay, so yeah, this is from.
Just get the image of you starting to read an article. We get halfway through. 17 dead in cartel hit.
Yeah.
God fucking damn it!
Or like, I saw this thing. Every year we await for the oldest known bear at Katamite NPS to return, King Otis.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just thinking I'm gonna get halfway through this video and it's gonna be like, and he was found dead. So I wanted to make sure that
Worse could be, and this year, after not showing up for much longer and the search being put on,
and it
was found that he was killed and then sodomized by someone. We're currently on the lookout for whoever the fuck.
He was grooming an underage native girl, and whereabouts are currently unknown.
Yeah. We believe it might have been Ezra Miller. God fucking damn it.
Let's see here. I'm going to mute this because I don't want any strikes or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, now it doesn't want to play. Of course. Oh, there we go. There we go. Big old bear.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's probably dead. Not to bring it down myself, but
Probably.
I mean, 25
Only lived so long.
A 25-year-old bear. You know, it's got to be. Your time is limited.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna go with parting thoughts, Sanguine.
If you're passionate about something, make sure that you devour it. Don't let it devour you.
And I...
Especially if you're passionate about bears.
And the animal bears, not the other animal bears.
Oh, don't let either of them devour you. One, you're dead because you just got too close to a wild animal. And the other, you're dead and apparently in a cannibalistic frenzy. Neither way is a good way to go.
I don't do the parting thoughts. That is that's Dall-e's and Prospero's thing. So
it was originally Inquisitor.
Oh, was it Quiz?
Yeah, he bungled the word parting thoughts and said parting tharts ages ago. And it fucking killed me. Because we were just having this very serious conversation right before. And then he went, well, it's time for us to go, so parting tharts, and just fucking died. I couldn't stop laughing and was just gasping.
Alright, well, I'm going to go with a Carlin quote here. The very existence of flamethrowers proves that sometime, somewhere, someone said to themselves, you know, I just want to set those people over there on fire, but I'm just not close enough to get the job done.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with most of the people we've talked about today, that kind of is fitting.
Yeah. They all fit the bill in that respect, don't they?
But on that note, the zoo is closed. Burn your local pedo, everyone. Have a good night.
Have a good night, all.